Hey, this is Michael Emery. Thanks for tuning into the Slow Baja. This podcast is powered by Tequila Fortaleza, handmade in small batches, and hands down, my favorite tequila. Well, if you've been listening to me for a while, you know I'm an absolute minimalist when it comes to Baja travel. But the one thing I never leave home without is a good old paper map. And my favorite is the beautiful, and I mean beautiful, Baja Road and Recreation Atlas by Benchmark Maps. It's an oversized 72-page book, jam-packed with details, and now you can get it from me at slowbaja.com. That's right. You can get it in the Slow Baja shop, and in fact, you better get two. One for your trip planning at home and one for your Baja rig. And if you love maps and you can't get enough of them like me, let me tell you about two sites I am absolutely obsessed with. Eastview MapLink and longitudemaps.com. Whatever you're looking for in maps, it's there. From the entire Benchmark collection to Baja wall maps to custom maps, you'll find it all at longitudemaps.com or evmaplink.com. You know, I've long said it, ask your doctor if Baja's right for you. Well, if you've been hankering to get down to Slow Baja with me, you got to check out the Adventures tab at slowbaja.com. All my trips are there, from my famed fall vintage extravaganza to my winter and summer expeditions, which are open to trucks of any age. You know, on a Slow Baja expedition, your meals are always included, which really does take the sting out of camping. And when we get off the trail, let me tell you, we have the happiest of happy hours. If good dirt roads, private campsites, ranch stays, great food, and great people sounds like your kind of fun, well, you got to check out the Adventures tab at slowbaja.com. But don't delay. These trips are small, they're highly immersive, and they will sell out. And folks, just so you know, I am always here for you for your Baja trip planning questions. One question, 100 questions. The easy way to get me is slowbaja.com/contact. And if you'd like to go to Baja and you don't want to go by yourself, you don't have a vintage vehicle, my winter trip doesn't work out for you, I am happy to talk to you about organizing and leading a private guided tour. I've done it. I've loved it. The pictures are over there at slowbaja.com/adventures, and you can check them out. And if you've got some questions, let's talk. Well, thanks for tuning in to today's Slow Baja. Maybe you can hear from the sound of this recording, I'm coming to you remotely. I'm not in the Shieldman studios. I am in Guerrero Negro doing some pre-running for the Slow Baja winter expedition, and my heaping dose of gratitude goes out to Zihul Martinez, Slow Baja alum, knife maker, guide, backcountry guide, cave paintings and hiking, very vigorous fellow whale watching guide. And he had a traumatic brain injury, had a stroke a couple years ago. We almost lost him. I think he was in Mexico City for almost a year recovering from that. And it's just terrific to run into him at the OXXO and gave him a ride back to his shop and got him to open up. And we had a little chat, and I was able to peruse the shop and pick up another knife and bought some wild honey that his rancher friends collect, and just got a chance to talk to him a little bit about how the road to recovery has been. And I would say he is 98 or 99% back. So I'm looking forward to going to San Francisquito with him and doing a mule packing trip to see the cave paintings. And anyways, Zihul is my heaping dose of gratitude today. Today's show is with Paul and Bonnie from Ignacio Springs Resort in San Ignacio, and they're just a lovely couple. And Bonnie's been a go-to person for information for me for a bit now on Slow Baja, and she just couldn't be nicer. Put me on to Oscar for the best micheladas in all of Baja, and RIP to Oscar. Sad that he's gone, but glad that I was able to introduce many people to his fabulous, fabulous, fabulous micheladas, and it will put me on to a quest for the next best michelada in Baja. All right, well, without further ado, today's show, Paul and Bonnie, San Ignacio Springs Resort in San Ignacio. Hey, it's Slow Baja. It's a beautiful day.
It is a beautiful
We're
day.
next to the San Ignacio. Would you call this a spring? What is this?
Yeah, Ignacio Springs.
Arroyo, it's a river, kind of. We call it a river, but I think it's more of an arroyo, but it's always full of water. It's spring-fed. It's It's about a half an hour kayak up the river to where it begins. And the water gets a little bit warmer. Definitely not hot springs, but a little bit warmer.
All right. It's Slow Baja, and I'm with Pawnee. I'm with Pawnee and Ball.
Pawnee and Ball.
Take 2. Okay, it's Slow Baja. Good morning. Hey, hello.
Morning.
Hi. Good morning.
Hey,
Morning.
it's Slow Baja. I'm with Paul and Bonnie at Ignacio Springs. We've got the beautiful arroyo behind us, and I'm just delighted to be here. And I just need to start the show by saying, hey, thanks. Thanks, you took care of me. I got to stay in your new place across the street.
Yeah, our new little motel we just purchased in January. We've been working slowly on getting it fixed up, but the rooms are ready. Just the outside needs a little attention.
I've traveled a lot in Baja. This is my 40th year of visiting Baja since I was a whippersnapper college kid in my first semester.
Wow.
It's one of the best beds I've slept in.
Well, that's good. I've heard.
That's a great bed. Really a great bed. So thank you for that. Paul, go ahead.
I said I hope so. They're all new.
Yeah, well, again, it's Slow Baja approved, folks. So it's it's March here, end of March.
Yeah, the end of March, getting near the end of the whale season, but there's still whales out there. We still have tours going on. We can help you to arrange the tours, and with any company, there's 3 companies in town that at the Laguna that do day trips, and then there's about 3 or 4 that do longer term 4 to 5 day all-inclusives. So we can help direct you in anywhere you want to go.
Well, I always say that guides need guides, and you've been my San Ignacio guide, so I do need to acknowledge that immediately and say thanks. But you really, I asked you some questions about whale companies. You're very diplomatic because you have relations with all 3, Pachico's, Antonio's, and Coima. I never know how to pronounce that.
I know, it's
Coima. And it was quite an experience to go there and camp on the lagoon and get out. And we did have a couple of friendlies come right to the boat, which was an amazing experience.
Yeah.
How do you explain that to folks who it's unfathomable to me, and I'm just going to say it, life-changing.
It is. So many people say it's life-changing, and when you don't know what to expect on your first trip, and then the whales start coming and they start coming up to your boat. It's brought grown men to tears. Well,
so case in point, I'm providing whale watching for my entire group. So we're out on 2 different boats, but I had most of my group in my boat, and one of the guys almost didn't come on the trip because his family bakery in Los Angeles had a car got driven through the front door. And they ransacked the place and wrecked the place and all that. And this only happened a couple weeks before the trip. So he's like, I can't go. I can't leave my dad with this problem. He comes to the trip. He gets it sorted out. He comes to the trip. And the whale came right up the side of the boat. And I don't know if they pick out the people who need a little love or what, but they came right to him. And he's a proud Mexican dude. And Ruben, I hope you're listening, Ruben's Bakery. But tears. There are tears. He couldn't believe the whole thing.
It's amazing. People love it. You never know what to expect. It's a whale watching tour, but if you get to touch one or if they come that close to the boat, it's, that's the bonus, the special part of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So real bonus here for me, and I'm just going to pay you a compliment right off the bat. This place is so clean. I mean, listen, you had somebody raking the beach this morning before I got here. It's like this place is clean.
Yes, we have a great staff. They're all locals. They're all from here, live in San Ignacio. I think we have about 14 staff during our high season, and they're, just as proud of this place as we are. They know what it takes to keep it clean and keep it running, and they do their best,
Well, I've told the story before on Slow Baja, but, that was a couple years ago. There's been buried under 100 plus episodes between when we spoke last. Paul, can we put the microphone in your hand and can you tell us a little bit about how you got here and how you found this place and what had happened in your life and the motorcycles and all that? Can you just kind of recap your journey to changing your life from living in Canada and coming here?
Yeah, it was a motorcycle trip with some other people from Canada in 2017. And
in the winter, because everybody gets away, right?
Yeah, February and, first part of March. And, so never been to never been here before, but anyway, we were riding down here. We stopped here, just had a beer, didn't stay.
Big adventure bikes, right?
Yeah,
BMWs?
BMWs. And so I knew it was Canadians and that owned it, but just had a beer. Anyway, carried on, and we went to San Javier Mission, and on the way back, the shock broke on my motorbike. So the sudden stop I wasn't expecting, and I ended up laying it down and broke my leg. So about a month and a half later, I ended up flying back to Calgary, and we drove down about a month and a half later to La Paz to pick up the bike, and on the way down we stopped here and spent the night and just got talking, and they mentioned about wanting to retire. They were getting tired and they wanted to do something different, and we weren't looking for anything, so we went to La Paz and we talked about it and stopped on the way back. And and then a couple months later, it was, we called them up and asked how serious they were, and I guess they were serious.
And what was the temperature differential between here and home?
That time of year, probably
80 degrees. About 80 degrees difference.
Maybe. No, not quite, but yeah, it was.
No, I remember before Paul had got here, I got here before Paul did, and it was July, and we work in Celsius. So here we were at 40 degrees Celsius, and Paul was up northern Alberta working in the mines, and it was minus 40. So there was 80 degrees difference.
Yeah, that's hot. It was hot here and cold there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but that was after we made the deal, and a year later anyway, after the accident, we were.
So about as bad a thing as could happen. I mean, you survived.
Mm-hmm.
You survived, and tell me about the nuts and bolts dealing with insurance, and somebody was looking after your bike. I don't remember all the details of the story, but
it worked out.
It worked out, didn't it?
Well, I had purchased, of course, Mexican insurance in the States, and
I hope you used Baja Bound. We're not going to ask.
Actually, it wasn't. It was another one, but
I said we're not going to ask.
And but I contacted them, and they the next day they had the adjuster out from the Mexican insurance, and my travel insurance. Called them right away, of course, too, and it all worked out
and
really
so you
well.
Had travel insurance.
I was quite surprised that Mexican insurance, like a month and a half or two later, they paid up, and I got my bike back, and it worked out good. So yeah.
All right. Well, on to better subjects. Again, guides need guides, and Bonnie has been such a great help to me at Slow Baja and connecting me to people here. We've launched the Baja Baseball Project, and that really stemmed from the first time I sat down with you, meeting Jonas here and talking baseball, and our sons were both serious baseball players, and my son's gone on to a professional career, and his son is 7, 8, 10 years younger, and he's in the Dominican Baseball Academy, which is as great a step as you can take to finding the next step up. And it must be must be so lonely for Jonas not to have his son and not be able to watch him play every day. But to see him doing with what he's doing here, he said he's got about 40 kids in his program, and they're playing on the dirt field right down the road from you folks, and we delivered 8-10 bags of gear to him and really lit these kids up like it was Christmas. And that was all because I was sitting here with you and had a chance to be slow and talk to somebody. And, tell me about San Ignacio and the people of San Ignacio, because I come as a tourist, but I haven't met anybody here I didn't like.
Yes, the people here are great, like the culture and the people, and they're so caring. And, somebody like Jonas, his whole family is into baseball. He doesn't work for us anymore, but his other son works for us, and he's a great person too. Like, everybody you meet is so easygoing, so just helpful, and it's great. It's great.
Do you attribute that to the water and the fruit and the dates? I mean, what do you attribute to the easygoing nature here?
There's nothing here in San Ignacio besides the water and the dates and it's tourism. The tourism. Tourism is the biggest economy here, and I don't know. It's just slow. It's a slow town. San Ignacio is known as the lazy people town. They call it the town of the flojos, the lazy people.
The flojos.
Flojos, yeah.
So I'm reading a book from a 1910 journey through Mexico, through Baja, and San Ignacio then was known for the most beautiful women.
Oh, really? Oh.
Paul, what do you say about that? I'm going to put you on the spot.
I'm not going to disagree.
You haven't noticed, but you will not disagree?
Exactly.
All right. Well, sorry to put you on the spot there.
No.
But it seems like, I don't know how to phrase this. So this trip that I just took, the Slow Baja winter expedition that you helped me so much with planning the whale watching portion, we put an 8-hour drive in to get to those whales. So that's a lot when you've got a group of 12 trucks or something following you.
Yes.
But to stop here in town, okay, we stopped at Guerrero Negro and we had the absolute best fish tacos in the peninsula. I think, tacos Molle. Is that how you pronounce it? Tacos El Molle?
Yes.
So fabulous. Guerrero Negro is a working industrial town.
It's very industrial.
This is gorgeous. So you come in, there's all the trees. It's an oasis, obviously. That's why it's here. It's an oasis, a literal oasis.
A true oasis in the middle of the desert, yes.
And then you have this amazing stone mission in the center of the village.
Yes, that mission is a big draw for a lot of people. I think this year they celebrated their 296th year of continuous services. From the first service in February, they celebrated 296 years. So we're waiting for the 300 year. That's going to be a big celebration here.
Should I book my yurt now?
You should. You should.
Get in ahead of the rush.
Yeah.
But it's such, it's shady. It's slow. I never knew that traffic was two ways. I always thought it was just one way around the plaza, but it was interesting last night to see that it actually goes two ways.
Yeah.
And
the only traffic jam we have is when it's the cabalgatas, when all the horses ride into town to do the blessing at the church.
I need to see that someday.
That's in July. You'll have to come in July for the Fiesta of San Ignacio. There's huge parties. They have bands. They have rides, amusement rides. They have stands all around the plaza. And then the horses come in on the birthday of Saint San Ignacio. And there's hundreds of horses. They ride all the way from Bonfil in Sierra de San Francisco, and they meet here in the plaza, and it's just beautiful.
Well, that plaza is something. And again, we went down and camped out at Cuima and then came back the next day and stayed nearby. You were obviously fully booked.
Yes.
We checked in. And we really had a lovely time where we were just able to slow down. And the pace of this place is conducive to that.
Yes. Yeah. I don't think San Ignacio has changed much in probably 40 or 50 years. It's all the same plaza. There's no new buildings going around the plaza. Sometimes they change. Sometimes it'll be I think we have a little wine tasting area now. I haven't gone in there yet.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I think the fellow who I spoke to there said his folks run Cuima. Could be.
Could be, yeah.
Could be the fellow who was pouring wine the night I was here a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. I didn't partake just because, I was doing other things.
Yeah. And there's a few little souvenir stores, but nothing really changes.
We're going to take a quick break here to talk about Baja Bound Insurance. And we'll be right back with Bonnie and Paul from Ignacio Springs. Here at Slow Baja, we can't wait to drive our old Land Cruiser south of the border. And when we go, we'll be going with Baja Bound Insurance. Their website's fast and easy to use. Check them out at bajabound.com. That's bajabound.com, serving Mexico travelers since 1994. Hey, big thanks to those of you who've contributed to our Baja Baseball project. We launched our gear deliveries on my winter expedition. Michael and Matthew from Barbers for Baja were along for the ride, and we got to deliver that critically needed baseball gear up and down the peninsula. It was really, truly amazing. And on my last trip, I got to go to the state baseball championships and see some of our alums playing, some recipients of the Baja baseball gear deliveries. And congratulations to Guerrero Negro and Mulegé. The Austineros and the Cardinalitos won silver and bronze at the state championships. Big stuff. And it was really fun to be there and fun to see them. All right, well, please help us continue this vital work. Make your tax-deductible donation at the Barbers for Baja. Click barbersforbaja.org. Click the Baseball in Baja link, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really do. It is so amazingly gratifying to be able to give these kids this chance to keep playing this sport, keep them on the field, keep them out of trouble. Please check it out. Baseball in Baja link at barbersforbaja.org. Thank you. I want to tell you about these new Rocky Talkie radios that I absolutely love. Heavy duty, beautifully made, easy to program, easy to use. We had 28 people, 15 trucks on the Slow Baja winter expedition. You can hand these radios to anybody from a 14-year-old kid to an 80-year-old, and they'll know how to use it. They are that well designed. One charge lasted the entire week. We are never out of range. I happened to upgrade to the accessory whip antenna for my radio and for my sweeps radio, the Donovan Brothers. We were never out of contact. I can't say it strongly enough. Rocky Talkie radios, rockytalkie.com. Check them out. Slow Baja Approved. Hey, we're back with Paul and Bonnie, and we're sitting just next to the arroyo. It's such a beautiful spot here. And I wanted to jump in. When I came in a couple weeks ago on my Slow Baja winter expedition, you guys were hopping. This place was jammed. We talked about earlier before we started rolling about the new campground that's just near town. That place was popping. The town square was popping. We had to wait in line to get an ice cream with Edson's parents. Yep. When is the high season here, the whale season? When does it really kick off? And it seems to be winding down now. We're recording at the end of March. So tell me about your high season.
Oh, for the whales, the high season usually starts around the mid to end of January when the whales arrive. The whales, they normally start arriving first week of January, and once they get in and get settled, then the tours begin, and all through February and March. Usually the first week of April is pretty good for whale watching too. They do start heading north in the end of March, February. The males start leaving in February. Then it's just the females and the babies who stick around. So it's a calmer experience once the males leave.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah.
And if somebody wants to come and stay with you, and I will highly recommend that, Slow Baja Approved, again, spotlessly clean. Your yurts are stunning. You've opened this property across the road, which we're going to talk about in a minute. How far in advance, if they want to come and go whale watching, how far in advance should people be booking?
Oh, if you have specific dates, I would say at least 6 months in advance, if not more than that. I think my online booking, I open it up about 3 months before, but if you'd like to book before then, I prefer if you contact me through email or call, and we can get it set up that way.
Important news just dropped there, folks. If you want to get here during the height of whale season and you want to stay right here, which is highly recommended, Slow Baja Approved, you need to email Bonnie and get on her secret calendar before she opens it to anyone else. That's for Slow Baja listeners only. Yeah. Well, I really enjoyed the new place. We're going to talk a lot more about that, but in a couple of minutes here, you've acquired a property across the street.
Yes.
And you've got a few rooms over there, and it looks like there's going to be an office, and it's as clean as a whistle. The beds are great. Paul, what do you want to say about it?
Yeah, it's
work in progress.
It's a work in progress, and the rooms are the important part. And we have, like I said, new bedding and hot water tanks, and just to have our guests comfortable. There's Wi-Fi over there, and it's a work in progress. So a little bit at a time. Eventually, I want to put in a water and electric for camping, and then also a dump station, and just try to spruce it up. But it's not going to happen overnight as much as I'd like to.
How many rooms?
There's 6 rooms, and then there's the Palapa, which is basically our office for now. So not sure what's going to happen with that yet, but I know the Palapa roof needs to go.
All right. Well, it's right on Oscar's back door. I was
Yes.
wondering if I could knock right on the back door here and have him pass a michelada over the back bar. He probably will. He told me last trip that he lives right there, and I can come by and knock on his door anytime, and he'll make a michelada for me. Hey, Paul, tell me, buddy. I came in, you're running a Bobcat or something here. You had a loader going. Seems like you're doing something all the time to keep this place up.
Yeah, it's made life much easier having a piece of equipment for, putting in new water lines and electrical lines and just cleaning up and, just doing some outside work. This past year I just bought a boom lift for the trees to make,
For trimming the trees?
for trimming the trees. The one gentleman that we have working is 70 years old. He can still climb the trees and he doesn't mind doing it, but at some point he's going to want to retire, so I bought this machine and the young lad got running it, so it makes the job much faster, much safer, and so there's always something going on.
Have you learned to thatch roofs yet with all that thatch you're cutting down?
Thatch is a no-go for me.
It's interesting to see how people weave that together, that ancient art of making use of this natural resource that is a nuisance to so many, can be shelter to
True. Yeah, but for us it's not something we cut them, and if somebody wants to take them they can have them, but other than that they go to the dump.
Yeah. So besides the whale watching season, you have cave paintings nearby. Can we talk about that a little bit? Paul, I don't know if you want to handle that, or Bonnie.
So there's the cave paintings at San Francisco de Sierra that offer just a day trip. It's an easy hike up some stairs, and it's about an hour and 15-minute drive. Beautiful road. It's all paved now to the little village. They also offer multi-day hikes or tours down into the canyon, and you can do from 3 days minimum to however long you want. And there's more cave paintings down there that are, from what I understand, quite spectacular. There's also cave paintings by Santa Marta, the Palmerito. That one you can do a day if you're into a good hike. It's an hour and a half drive there. It's an hour and a half hike both ways to get to the cave paintings, and then you can do it all in a day if you're interested and want a good workout. Again, you'll need a guide, and they do offer mules or donkeys if you want to take a
ride instead of the hike.
Instead of hike.
And Bonnie, you can help people arrange all of that.
Yeah, I can direct you in the right direction, or I can organize it. I can organize if you want transportation, or give you directions if you want to drive yourself. Both of them are really easy to get to, and some of my staff have family up there, so if you wanted to rent a mule, just call me and we can get it arranged, and that was for the day trip.
Yeah, and again, I don't want to be in a make-work situation for you, but you really are dialed in, and you really, I think, by nature are very helpful.
Yeah.
And you've been extraordinarily helpful to me. I reach you through email, and you've been extraordinarily helpful. And again, I personally would like to come back and see the cave paintings.
The cave paintings within an hour and a half drive of here. They're both World Heritage sites, so they're protected. So you need to get a permit. You need to have a guide, which you go to the office, you get your permit, they give you a guide. You go up and see the paintings. Of course, the Raton in Sierra San Francisco is much easier to get to. It's more, if you don't want to do a 4-hour hike to up and down to see them, because that works out to about a 6 to 8 hour day by the time that the one in Santa Marta, the Palmerito, by the time you're done that's a good 6-8 hour day.
And you'd want to do that earlier in the year.
You'd want to start early in
the year rather than the hot season.
Yeah, you don't really want to go too much in the middle of the summer, but you could.
Okay. Tell me a few other things about what brings people to San Ignacio. You've
just
mentioned
the river itself to relax. I always say we're the belly button of Baja. We're right dead center, north and south, east and west. We're a good halfway point if you want to drive the whole peninsula in 2 days. You can stay here. We're the gateway to the San Ignacio Lagoon whales. We're, the gateway to some of the cave paintings in the area. It's just an all-around perfect midpoint stop.
And a beautiful one at that.
Yeah.
Paul, do you still ride?
Not as much as I would like to, but
That equipment you've bought, keeping this place tidy?
that, and also I need new boots and I need a jacket, so that's put a stop on riding at the moment. But I did ride my old bike from Canada down here back in June last year, and so yeah, other than that, not a whole lot.
And there's lots of riding, whether you're hanging out.
There is.
We're going to let this wind pass. There's lots of riding to be done, whether you're on a Harley, which I've seen plenty of Harleys. It seems like a lot of Mexicans want to come cross on the ferry and then ride the roads of Baja, the highway.
We do get a lot of
Mainland Mexican
we
motorcycle
do get
groups.
a lot of motorcycle groups or people from mainland Mexico and that are just out for a ride and want to check out Baja and yeah, it's definitely a different place compared to mainland.
So from hardcore dirt bike riding to adventure bikes, where you're carrying your camp gear, to the folks who are doing it on the road with probably stopping in at a hotel or staying with you, it's pretty nice riding.
It is, yeah. Definitely lots of twisties and curves and lots of little challenges and that's just on the pavement. Once you get off road, it's there's all different levels from to fairly easy back road riding to your hardcore off road rocks and sand and
A little something for everyone.
Exactly, yeah.
We're going to wrap it up. I've got to get down the road, but tell me about, you've had some challenges here. Recently you had the fire here, and it's all back together. The kitchen looks like it was popping last night. I missed breakfast this morning, unfortunately. Huevos Rancheros, which I had the last time I was in. It was so lovely, but I got here a little late and missed that. But it's all back together.
Yeah, we've from the time of the fire in June 2022 to, I guess we had our official open house the first part of November. So, but we started using the kitchen in September, I think, and yeah, and then got our tables and finished up. But there's a few little things that still need to be done, but for the most part, everything's up and running, and we made do. My garage, my shop turned into the kitchen a year ago, or for almost a year and a half, I guess, for dinners and breakfasts, and my shop and bar, and we made it work.
Yeah, and so you said something there that I think is so important. You made do.
Yeah. We just kept focus on made it keep things rolling, keep things moving. I mean, we the rooms were still available, so it was just a matter of a makeshift kitchen and
people are
bar.
still coming.
Yeah, people were still coming.
But I think there's something in the Baja spirit about making do. Last night, had a nice dinner in town. Thank you for recommending a restaurant. Sorry I didn't get to go to the one that I really wanted to go to. We ended up at Victor's, and it was on the town square. It was terrific. I got to run into a couple of Slow Baja listeners, which was fun. I shared some Fortaleza tequila with the staff. We had a lovely night, and I really had a terrific dinner there. After dinner, we drove over to the campground. So half the group walked. I drove over with one of the people that I was traveling with and moved some luggage that needed to be moved. And at 10:30 last night, my car didn't start. I turned the key, and there's absolutely nothing. No no nothing. As it turned out, young Dylan sorted it out and managed to jump the solenoid. It's the solenoid of the starter. Managed to jump it, and it fired up. But it took 15 minutes. And I really thought, this is going to be a problem. But in the morning, I'm going to call Paul. And Paul's going to recommend a mechanic. And the mechanic's going to come over with some Mexican technology, or we're going to tow the car with a strap to the mechanic's shop. And the mechanic is going to put a little button under the hood. And he's going to just wire in a little something and a little button, and I'm going to press the button under the hood, and the thing's going to fire, and I can get it fixed when I get back. But there's that Mexican technology. There's the make it work that has happened here for centuries.
Yes.
Make it work.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, we're in the middle of nowhere, but they can fix anything. Almost anything. Yeah, they've fixed. You know, people have come down with their trailers for racing and stuff, and they've welded back together axles, and they've, you know, just replaced transmissions, and, you know, had them shipped down from the States. And we've had everything done in this town.
It's a great place to break a frame on an old heavy-duty steel truck. I had a couple of kids on my Slow Baja vintage trip in October, and the frame broke on their 1973 Jeep Commando. And we were just having lunch in El Rosario, and the amount of time it took my group to have lunch at Mama Espinosa's, they were able to get their frame welded, buy a case of beer for the welder and some tacos, and make a new friend.
Yeah. No, that's
for $40.
Yeah. Well, no, and when it comes to things like that, it's pretty economical, and the know-how, and just they figure it out. And
they figure it out, and that's something that I'm trying to always convey. You should not be afraid. The people are nice.
Yeah.
The food is good. The weather is wonderful.
Yeah.
We're sitting here right now. I've got to get down the road to Mulegé, where I have nowhere to stay, but I'm going to figure it out tonight, and it's going to be fine, even in Semana Santa. Yeah. If I sleep on somebody's front porch, it could happen. You never know.
Yeah.
How has being in Baja for this amount of time changed you, if it is changed you?
You learn to just wait for it to happen. It may not happen today.
Patience,
and it will happen. Just be patient, and everything comes through how it's supposed to, whether it's the way you expect it or not the way you expect it, but everything, it just happens how it's supposed to happen, you know.
Well, I think we're going to leave it right there.
Yeah.
Thanks. What's the best way for folks to reach you?
You can email me at ignaciosprings@gmail.com.
ignaciosprings@gmail.com. That's how I get a hold of Bonnie.
Yes.
With alarming regularity. You have a website, Facebook?
We do have a website, ignaciosprings.com. There is online booking there. There is a contact form. You email, fill in your contact, questions, whatever, and send it to me, and I usually get back that day, or sometimes if I'm out getting supplies, the next day.
Paul and Bonnie, thanks again for taking care of Slow Baja. Highly, highly, highly recommended. If you're coming through the belly button, and you have to, folks, there's no way around it. If you're coming through, book ahead, reach out. You'll really enjoy staying here in the yurts. You'll really enjoy just slowing down and being in San Ignacio.
Yeah.
So thanks again from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we did it.
All right, thank you, Mike.
Hey, well, I hope you liked that show with Paul and Bonnie. Lovely people. Unfortunately, that one got derailed for a bit. I was waiting on that video footage and this and that, and then, one thing came up and another, and I got distracted with taking Sailfish to Baja. And anyways, if you like what I'm doing, if you like me getting out and about, meeting people where they are, recording these interviews in their space, in their place, I gotta ask you to support the show. Support the show. Drop a taco in the tank. You can do that at slowbaja.com/donations. Drop taco in the tank. Really need it to keep this show afloat. And if you're over there at slowbaja.com, please go to the Slow Baja shop, buy a hat, buy a tee. It's time. You need to rep Slow Baja. You have so many great conversations when you're wearing a Slow Baja shirt down in Baja or wherever home is for you, and somebody says, "Hey, Slow Baja, I love that," or "Tell me about what is Slow Baja." Somebody once said, "Slow Baja is like life is good if you like Mexico." I like that idea. Well, I'm going to wrap it up here and tell you about Mary McGee, Slow Baja alum, Off-Road Motorsports Hall of Famer. She had a pal, Steve McQueen. Steve loved Baja. He loved riding motorcycles in Baja. He got Mary on a bike, got her to come down to Baja. And, he said, "Mary, Baja's life. Anything that happens before or after, it's just waiting." People always ask me, what's the best modification that I've ever made to Slow Baja? Without a doubt, it's my Shieldman seats. Toby at Shieldman USA could not be easier to work with. He recommended a Vario F for me and a Vario F XXL for my navigator Ted, as Ted's kind of a big guy. And Toby was absolutely right. The seats are great and they fit both of us perfectly. And let me tell you, after driving around Baja for over a year on these seats, I could not be happier. Shieldman, Slow Baja Approved. Learn more and get yours at shieldman.com. I'm all about keeping things simple, traveling light, and finding the really good stuff. And that's why I've been wearing iron and resin for years. It's not just clothes. It's gear that holds up in the dust, the salt, the spilled tacos, and still looks good when you roll into town. Made in small batches by folks who care, no flash, no fast fashion, just the kind of stuff that gets better the more you wear it. Check them out at ironandresin.com and pick up something that'll last the next 1,000 miles.